Billionaire pretended to be a construction worker to test the worker. He surprised the woman come back to the hotel to return the money you given by the man. She didn't expect what would happen. Simple man with high dreams. When Wednesday drives a taxi, he earns his living.
And that's what helped him a lot, to support him.
The daily needs of his family, especially the maintenance medicine of his sick father. A day of driving this Wednesday, he had a drunken man on board. And because of his drunkenness, he fell asleep in this Wednesday's taxi. Wednesday scratched his head at that point because he could not pass because of the man who slept inside the car. What the hell is that? My night is unlucky with so many people. This is the only one I can ride that is really drunk. Hey, Wednesday said while holding his breath in that incident. He made Wednesday park his car in front of the hotel and he patiently waited for that man to understand. While he was waiting for Wednesday, he also fell asleep in his car. And it's morning to wake up. Wednesday was suddenly surprised when someone woke up in his voice. "Miss, wake up and morning," said a male voice. It turned out to be the voice of the man who was drunk the other day, and he had 2 glasses of coffee with him. "I bought you coffee, drink it first to warm your stomach," said the man. There was no second thought that it reached Wednesday. The man offered coffee, and he drank it. "Miss, thank you very much for last night. You must be a very kind person, because I think it must be a different person. I was dropped on the side of the road and left there. But you made me sleep in your car, and watched over. Once again, thank you very much, miss, for your kindness." The man said, "By the way, my name is Peter," the man said, extending his hand to the girl. This made Wednesday reach for the young man's hand. "By the way, my name is Wednesday, sir, nice meeting you," Wednesday replied. At that point, this Wednesday had a friend. After the conversation between the two, Peter spoke again and asked for a favor. "Wednesday, it's the last time. Can I send it to you? I'm embarrassed to change cars." "I'm too tired," Peter said shyly. "Yes, of course. Are you still?" Wednesday replied. It happened that he made Wednesday, this Peter, take him to the place he told him. And when they were traveling, these two talked a lot. After a while, Peter stopped the car because they had arrived at his destination. This Peter would have paid his fare, but Wednesday denied that. "Don't worry, sir. That's okay. I'm happy to meet you." He said it was Wednesday because Wednesday didn't want to accept his fare. Peter didn't insist anymore and just thanked again for the kindness of Wednesday. But before the two parted, he first gave it to Peter. Of his calling card, this Wednesday, "This is my missed calling card. If you need help, just call me." Peter made his calling card reach Wednesday and there the two said goodbye to each other. When he left on Wednesday, it stared at the home that Peter had gone to. It turns out that they're also simple, sir, but big and fancy inside. Wednesday whispered after that incident. It made Wednesday go home to rest, due to lack of sleep this Wednesday after he arrived at his house. He thought for a moment and sighed. "What am I going to tell mom and dad now? I had no income for almost 2 days," Wednesday said while scratching his head. "It's okay. I'll go back tomorrow, and I'll redouble my efforts." This is what Wednesday said, but when he got out of his taxi, he noticed an envelope left on the back seat of the car. This Wednesday did look at that and he was surprised by what opened his eyes. Because that envelope was full of money, because that's when this Peter immediately entered his mind. that money was his, and he was the one who left that money there. Because he was the only passenger, but he made Wednesday the next day to deliver the money to Peter. Because of being very tired and sleepy at that point. It's before bed on Wednesday. First he told his parents what happened during his stay. It happened that the two understood him, and the two were even happy because of the kindness shown by their son. The very next day, this Wednesday left early to go to the house he gave to Peter. But when he talked to the owner of the house, it turned out that they didn't know this Peter. At that point, Wednesday was surprised, and because he remembered that there was a calling card that Peter handed to him. So he made you look for it, and called the number that was there. But when he called Peter's number, it's not ringing, and always unattended in that event. This Wednesday breathed a sigh of relief, and thought about what to do next until it entered his mind. Who hangs out in front of the hotel? I know where he first met this Peter. That he might see it there, but this Wednesday just ran out of time waiting.
And new Peter appeared to him. It's been a week since Wednesday came back in front of the hotel. That he might see Peter there, so that he can get back the money he left behind.
Why is it so hard to find this person? Maybe he's not really from this town. It's a waste of money. Maybe he needs it, Wednesday whispered to himself. Suddenly, Wednesday's cell phone rang. I don't know where it was his mom calling him. Wednesday immediately answered that phone call. After a while, Wednesday suddenly dropped his cell phone and quickly drove his car back to their house. It turns out that his father had a heart attack. So his mom called him, and because his mom was on her way to the hospital in an ambulance, it was there that Wednesday met his mother. Wednesday caught up with his mother crying outside the emergency room. I hugged him and held him. Ma, it's okay to cry. Papa, Ma will get over it. We just trust, said Wednesday. Wednesday, son, the doctor told me earlier that your father needs a heart transplant. But a large sum will be required, cried his mother. Let me and I will find a way. Hold on, he said. It was Wednesday. After talking with his mother, Wednesday leaned against the wall and thought. And the first thing that came to his mind, the money. It has not yet returned to Peter. It happened because of the suddenness of the incident. And this Wednesday has no money at that time. That's why it used Peter's money first. Using this money, Peter was able to perform his father's surgery. And luckily his father's operation was successful. This Wednesday is very grateful to those who helped his father, especially the doctor who performed his father's surgery. He actually made a personal visit to the doctor on Wednesday, because the operation was just finished, that he had not seen it in person yet. That's why he intended to go to his office on Wednesday. It happened that the doctor was in his office when he visited on Wednesday. This Wednesday came in slowly at that doctor's office. He called the doctor, who had his back turned and was talking on the phone. No one knew that Wednesday was waiting for his surprise at that point. Wednesday patiently waited for that doctor until they finished talking to the person on the other end of the phone line. At the point when the doctor finished his story, he immediately faced Wednesday here and spoke. Yes, ma'am. What the hell? Wednesday, is that you? The doctor said in shock that it turned out to be Peter, who had been looking for Wednesday for a long time. Wednesday was also surprised by what he discovered at that point, and to his surprise, he dropped the papers he was carrying. Peter immediately helped him pick up the papers he had dropped. Sir Peter, I've been looking for you for a long time, so I can return the money you left in my taxi. But sir, Sorry, I messed with your money, I spent it on my father's surgery. Wednesday was crying. While Wednesday was crying, he made Peter tap his shoulder. I know it's Wednesday, I've been noticing you on the road on Wednesday for a long time, you just don't know. And I am amazed by your kindness. That's why I made you know your character. That's when I found out that your father is the one who encourages you to work hard and work hard. So I thought of a plan to help you without realizing it. That night when I was drunk, I just pretended to do it to test you on what you would do. And the house you let me down is not really the house I'm going home to. And I know you're looking for me, because I can see you. Wednesday, your heart is very excited, so don't worry about the cost of your father's surgery and treatment because I have answered everything. When Wednesday heard what Peter said, he started crying. And he embraced this Peter, and whispered the words, "Thank you very much, Sir Peter." It happened that with Peter's help, Wednesday's father's condition improved, and currently Wednesday and Peter are happily together. Now not as friends but as husband and wife. Friends but